Hello, my friend. We have another lesson today, a very important topic. But before I start, I want to know how you are doing. I hope you listen to each lesson, re-listen to it, write it down, take notes, and do your homework. And most importantly, you don't put off until today what you can do now. It's one of the key phrases in my life. Do not put off until today what you can do now. The topic of our lesson today is personal effectiveness. In terms of personal effectiveness, this is the most important phrase. Do not put off until today what you can do right now. Because if you put something off, most likely you'll never do it. Do you remember, like our parents used to say, do not put off until tomorrow what you can do today? That was true for the 20th century, and before that, then the speed was not that high. Now we live in the 21st century. The speed of life now is crazy, and the proverb, don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today, does not work anymore. Do not put off until today what you can do now. Remember that success always depends on actions, on correct actions. You must learn A, to act, and B, to act correctly. Only two things in personal effectiveness. It is also important to understand the Pareto principle. I think you've already heard about this principle. If not, I'll now tell you in a nutshell. If you've heard, I'll repeat. Practice makes perfect. 80 to 20, the Pareto rule, says that 20% of the effort gives 80% of the result. 20% of the effort gives 80% of the result. This is what distinguishes the rich from the poor, the smart from the stupid. The rich and successful people know how to understand the entire volume that needs to be done and to separate 20% of the most important from this volume. It is this 20% of actions that will bring 80% of the result. An Italian scientist once found this rule, and it works almost always and in all fields. 20% of sellers generate 80% of the money. In retail, 20% of SKU generates 80% of the profit. And 20% of actions generate 80% of the results. Poor people, not successful people, do not understand this. And basically, they do exactly those 80% of the actions that bring 20% of the result. That is why they do not succeed. My task is that you start doing that 20% that brings 80% of the result. It doesn't seem logical how 20 can bring 80% and 80 can bring 20. But this is a law of success. This is a rule of success. You know it now, and the only thing you need to do is to understand and start implementing. 80% of the result comes from 20% of the effort. Therefore, personal effectiveness requires you to always keep your goals in mind. There should be as few goals as possible, not more, but few. You may have many desires and few goals. The fewer goals you have, the more you focus on these goals. What is your goal? Write it down. That's your homework. Once again, one goal is health, one goal is business, in money, and one goal in relationships, and another goal in personal development. 4 main goals. Remember, focus plus speed equals result. Focus on these 4 goals of yours, the main goal in health, and not what to do, but what result you want to get. For example, exercises are actions, and health and well-being is the result. Therefore, choose goals according to what you want to get, and the results you want to get. For example, I want to build a great company in business. This is the result I want to get. Of course, every day you must take a huge number of correct actions. Everything I tell you is what I apply myself and what works for my whole team and me. This is 100% effective. Once again, 4 goals: health, money, family, and personal development. Formulate 4 main goals. Remember that the whole day, 24 hours, except for the time for sleeping, you will take many actions. Remember that only 20% of these actions bring 80% of the result. So your task is to think all the time, what is the most important thing that can be done right now, and you will receive the maximum result, maximum effectiveness. Your every word must be well thought. Do not say words that are not necessary. Do not listen to people who say not necessary words. It does not bring results. You'll be just like everyone else. If you want extraordinary results, you must be effective. You must focus on your goals. Remember the Pareto rule. Remember that focus plus speed equals result. Focus on goals. And then accelerate, faster. Repeat to yourself not to slow down. If someone starts to distract you, go ahead. Do you remember one of my favorite phrases? An arrow flying at a target is not distracted by the landscape. Do not put off until today what you can do now. So, your homework is to write your goals for this week, for the next 7 days, for each area of life, for health, for money. Money and business are in one area. For relationships, relatives, your family, close relatives, your close friends, maybe, and goals for personal development. What do you want to achieve during this week? What do you want to get? And then write for each of the 4 goals which you are ready to do every day to get it. What are you ready to do for your health? What are you ready to do for money? What are you ready to do in the area of relationships and personal development? Next, learning to delegate is absolutely essential for personal effectiveness. To delegate means to buy labor, the labor of other people. I like to speak directly and openly, without any romance. Nobody does anything for nothing. Even if you barter with someone, you still have to do something, and then they do something for you. If you sit, do nothing, and expect other people to do something useful for you, something you need, it's an illusion. Therefore, the best solution is to be a master of your job. Get more money, more and more money, and buy other people's labor. The one who goes to the store, who cooks, who cleans, etc. I now have 4,000 people working in a team. That's why I can talk to you now, because this is the most important thing for me. I really want to help you. Once my teachers helped me. They taught me. I have a great desire to pass this knowledge. Therefore, you need to learn to delegate, not to be greedy, and not try to do everything yourself. One of the secrets of success is letting go, letting other people earn, not pinching pennies. Then you can focus on the most important things, and other people will do the rest. Next, to be very effective, you must know this rule. It is also one of the most important expressions in my life. Today, I am better than I was yesterday. Today, I am better than I was yesterday. By the way, this is the motto of my school. This is the main phrase in our company. I think you've already heard me say it. Continuous improvement. I learned that from Japanese people. They have Kaizen philosophy, which is translated as continuous, never-ending improvement. Therefore, you choose some of the most important parts of your life. For example, I've chosen 4 areas for me. Money, health, relationships, personal development. And every day, you do what you do to be better. Today, I am better than I was yesterday. You try to do not like you did yesterday, but better than you did yesterday. And repeat it every day. You must remember that if you do not have time, it means that you just do not know how to organize your life. Imagine, at this moment, I have 265 restaurants, 4,000 employees. I have time for everything because I do the most important things. I promise that I'll teach you to have time for everything. You and I will work together for a year, 12 modules. Now, we have only the 3rd week of our training, and there are 52 weeks in total. You will always have time for everything. And people who do not have money or are not successful always have an excuse. One excuse. Oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for anything. They just don't know how to manage their time. There are people who do CSI, as I call it, complicating the simplest issues. And they also do KPI grabbing. But this is not about you. Maybe it was earlier. Now you will do everything nice and clean, just because you have the knowledge. And you will see those engaged in KPI grabbing. It is very important for personal effectiveness to distinguish between what is solid and what is empty. This is an image, solid and empty. Solid is something that you can rely on because we always need a supporting point to move on. There are solid people, solid information. There are empty people you cannot rely on. With them, you do not feel as safe as houses. There is empty information with errors. But this topic is very serious. We will study it in great detail throughout the year. Another bit of homework for you is to look at the list of activities that you have done at the end of the week. Think about what you could have delegated. This will help you to be prepared for the next week. Don't hold on to the thought of doing a lot. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, the largest company in the world today, makes 3 decisions a day. You cannot engage in a fuss. The more fuss, the less the result. So, at the end of the week, analyze everything you did during the week. An analysis is one of those essential things. An analysis is one of the essential things successful people can do. They analyze their lives all the time, analyze their actions all the time, and think about how they can be more effective tomorrow. And don't get distracted. Be the arrow that is not distracted by the landscape, the arrow that flies at the target. Your goal is a great success. These are great achievements. You can achieve anything you want. The main thing is to believe that the impossible is possible. The main thing is to believe that you can achieve 1,000 times more than you think you can achieve. The main thing is to act. I believe in you. I'm sure that you will achieve great results. The main thing is to start believing in yourself and do correct things. I'll always help you. Do your homework and see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.